Again, Gregg and Dave Boling in the Meadowlands in New Jersey after the Seahawks really went to work on the New York Jets today. They beat them 27-17, but they dominated the game. It was 17-3 at the end of the first half before a fluke touchdown for the Jets late in the half. It was 27-10 deep into the fourth quarter before a fluke fumble recovery touchdown when the rest of the field stopped playing, thought it was an incomplete pass and was a fumble. The defense leading away again, only 70 total yards for the Jets in the second half, but the headliner was Russell Wilson, who apparently is immune to all injury and discomfort, threw for 309 yards, 3 touchdowns, 23 for 32 passing, 133 passer rating. What else is left for him to do?
You know, I was looking through my notes as I chart the game. Wilson equals stud. This kid is just is remarkable. And I talked to some of the players afterward. How does that affect you? Well, it's inspiring. It motivates. It establishes a level of expectation across that whole roster. You're hurt. You're tired. Suck it up, pal. This guy's got, 2 working joints. And he's out here, and not just out here, being effective. Warren Moon just walked by, and I saw Warren and Russell before the game. They were kind of chatting a little bit, and I asked Warren. I said, "Did he ask you about how to play quarterback as with 40-year-old legs when you can't move?" And Warren's thought was, you know what, this might be a good thing for him, learning how to be a pocket passer as an option. He may learn things from that he's never had to exploit when he was able to run at will. So it could be another step in his development.
I think he's a more complete quarterback now that he doesn't have his legs under him. A sprained knee, a sprained ankle. He can't run, can't get away from the pass rush, so he stays in the pocket, throws on time, throws for 309 yards, completes 10 of his first 11 passes, a perfect passer rating with 2 touchdowns in the first half. He threw to 8 different targets in the first half. One of them's an undrafted rookie free agent from Wisconsin, who was
touchdown
for Tanner McAvoy from Bergen High School here in New Jersey. He was a safety in mini camps, and now he's catching touchdown passes in the first half for the Seahawks from Russell Wilson. He's become a more complete thrower, not just a guy who can make improvisational plays. We saw it last year some, but Pete Carroll after the game saying anyone who says he is not a pocket passer does not know what they're talking about. Today I think proved that.
You know, I think another takeaway that I have is they came in here. Some of us remember some disasters down at that ends out a phantom touchdown with Vinny Testaverde. You know, bad things have happened to this team too. They seem to shake it off. They came here. They didn't play a perfect game. They played a little bit of a flawed game. They had some things go against them, some weird calls, and they took care of business. And I think that's the thing. They're 3-1 now. It's about as good as you could expect with Thomas Rawls hurt, with Russell Wilson in the shape that he's been. To be 3-1 at this point is coming out, doing the job, and finding ways to win. And I think that's about as big of a compliment as you can give this team.
The biggest thing being 3-1 in the bye is they're not giving away the extra game here and there that they did in September and October last season, and that ended up putting them on the road in the playoffs against Carolina, and we saw what happened there. So they're 3-1 heading in 2 weeks off. Russell Wilson says that's going to seem like an eternity to him to get 2 weeks to rest.
He'll play some baseball.
He probably will go part-time baseball. They'll have Atlanta October 16th. If the defense keeps playing like this, Wilson doesn't have to be as great as he was today. Richard Sherman had 2 interceptions because the Jets' Ryan Fitzpatrick kept targeting him because he has his own Hall of Fame caliber receiver, Brandon Marshall. But for the first time this year, Dave, the Seahawks decided, okay, we're going to put our best All-Pro guy on your Hall of Fame guy, and Sherman got 2 interceptions and Marshall got 1 touchdown.
And, you know, Sherman, you would say, if somebody catches a pass on him, he's upset. When it's Brandon Marshall, he said, you know what, he's going to be wearing a gold jacket someday. I knew he was going to get his. I did my best. If they keep coming, I'm going to get mine. And I think it was a joy to watch, you know, that to see some of those catches that Marshall made. Sherman was blanketing him.
Yes, he was.
and it was just the perfect timing, back shoulder or something where there really is no defense against it. So it was one of those fun games within a game. It was really enjoyable.
Marshall ended up with 4 catches for 84 yards and a touchdown on the back shoulder throw Dave mentioned at the end of the first half. That came right after Sherman thought he had an interception, which would have been his 3rd of the day. A replay review showed it hit the ground and skipped into Sherman's chest.
And a pass interference call that he thought was an offensive pass interference call, and I did too. Go the other way. So I think they poked the bear a little bit there. It got Sherman a little bit angry about it, and that's never good for you.
Sherman said, "You keep throwing at me, I'm going to get one." He got 2 today, including one right after that interference call on him in the 4th quarter that set up the clinching touchdown. Christian Michael reaching across on a 6-yard touchdown catch. The other thing impressive about the offense was there wasn't really a running game for Seattle today. We thought they had to run against the Jets' defensive front to keep the pressure off of Wilson. They only ran for 68 yards today. So that tells us
that's what the Jets have been doing to everybody.
Exactly.
Really.
And so that tells you that Wilson can win immobile with the entire game plan and the opposing game plan on him. Doug Baldwin said after the game, we knew we were going to have to throw because we didn't think we could run as well into this defensive front of the Jets. So they threw early and often, and the result was probably one of the more heroic days in Russell Wilson's already heroic 5-year career. We'll head back home to Seattle tomorrow. We have a bye week awaiting us before the Seahawks, as I mentioned, play Atlanta on October 16th at CenturyLink Field. In case you're wondering, these are youth football players playing behind us. Pretty cool deal for some local New Jersey kids to play on a pro football stadium.
They keep this field moving. They had the college game here yesterday, so it's an earner.
All about revenue. All right, thanks for joining us. We'll see you this week on the Seahawks Insider.